6 o'clock. Brooklyn Town Council. Let's go ahead and do, pledge allegiance, we'll get that started. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're going to open with our public hearing on regarding the ordinance for the 2025-5 trash rates. And can I ask everybody to silence their phone as well? Thank you.
I make a motion that we accept ordinance number 2025-5.
So we need to hold the public hearing first. So, you earlier approved a renewal of the contract with Bestway for trash collection around town. Bestway kept their rates the same for the first year, which was surprising and a nice surprise because we're not gonna see an increase. But then they are increasing it slightly over the next 3 years. We need to adopt a rate ordinance to align with the rates under the contract. There is a requirement under state statute to hold a public hearing prior to the adoption of a rate ordinance, just like for any other utility before adopting rates for trash contract. So that's the purpose of this public hearing. And it's an opportunity for any members of the public to ask questions or speak on the proposed rates for trash collection for years 2026 through 2029. Ask anybody.
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions on the trash contract?
And then we can close the public hearing, right?
Yep, we can close, the public hearing has now come to a close.
And then the council can deliberate on the ordinance or back to Barb. I think you were inclined to make a motion.
I was, but now I see it's down under new business down here, so do you want me to make the motion now, or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I make a motion to accept ordinance number 2025-5, for the trash contract.
Barb motion, Mitch seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thanks.
Public meeting, public hearing is closed then? All right, already closed it, okay,
Yep.
just making sure, I haven't
Yep.
done this for a while.
Yep.
All right, now we're gonna open our town council meeting, November 11th, 2025. Mitch Moore,
Here.
Barb Lowmore. Here. Marty Smith,
Here.
Kevin will be late, so he's here. Start, Mitch, do you have anything new?
Not at this time.
Barb?
Not at this time.
And do you have anything?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Last week, I came and got the white Ford truck from out of the maintenance department, and we hauled it to C&M Automotive. And I have found out since then that they have basically taken parts off of that truck to either repair or whatever they did with the parts. They're
Okay.
no longer on the truck. And so they're having to see if they can find parts to fix it before they can even see what's wrong with the truck, because they can't start it without these parts. And basically, that's the main transmission line that goes up to the cooler and the fittings that goes into the radiator.
Okay.
And Chad, the gentleman that is doing the mechanical work on it, says that he can rig it where he can get the fire out. And the see if it would even be worth fixing.
Okay,
And so that's what I'm waiting on now. He is, working on that in his spare time, that way it keeps the cost down. But he said that he's finding more parts that are gone off the truck. So, would it even be worth our while to even go any farther? Because, I got the quote for the transmission, $5,000.
okay,
And that's even what's wrong with it.
right,
And unfortunately, we can't figure out if that is what's wrong with it until we get the thing done. So, it's definitely gonna need a new radiator and the tranny lines and a cooler, as of right now. If you want, I can have you get a cost for those, or,
What year is this truck?
what year is it, Mike? 2006?
Yeah, I think so. I was thinking
That's what I
5,
think.
but.
Yeah, and it's just a two-wheel drive pickup truck, it's a 6-cylinder.
Yeah.
And the interior is free-wheel trash. And it is starting to rust out behind cat clothing and stuff.
okay.
So, I don't think it
I
would
think
be
at that
worth
point,
fixing
No,
that.
it's not.
Throwing good money at bad.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
But I also, that's what you
No,
wanted to do.
we wanted to look, because
Right.
we didn't know what was wrong with it, we just kept hearing it, nobody realized they were taking parts off of it. to put
Right,
on something
I didn't
else.
either.
Had no clue.
I had no clue because when Chad got in, well, his nickname's Al. When Al got underneath there, he called me and said, there's parts missing.
Okay,
So do you want me to have him stop
I would think so, what do you think?
and just go ahead and pay the bill, whatever it is?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Either losses, whatever,
Yeah.
still low.
Yeah.
I'll
I
call
do
him.
have something.
Sure.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Okay.
you go ahead.
And the next, thing on the agenda, and I talked to Mike about it, and you, the next thing would be the vacuum truck.
Okay,
Mike says, didn't you say you had somebody that could come possibly take a look at it?
I can find out.
Yeah.
It's B&K, it's right there in town, there in Whiteland.
Right.
They do all kinds of work as far as fabrication and
Right.
mechanical and everything.
So do you want us to go ahead and give them over here to take a look at that back truck?
we can, I might have another option too as well.
Right, I know that's
Yeah.
what she's talking about,
Yeah.
yeah. Now, Mitch, did you say you had somebody too that possibly could look at that truck?
I know a company that I've used in my
Right.
full-time job that I can,
Well, can you and Mike get together and see which way would be the best way to check that out?
Yep.
Okay, I appreciate that. And so I will, have the white truck, send it back to the maintenance department
Okay,
and,
we'll figure out what to do from there, just,
yes,
I
ma'am.
wouldn't put it back in the garage, I would just set it back over
Let
there.
it side set it outside.
Oh, yeah.
Is that it's right beside them other two?
There's two red trucks there.
Well, between what's going on over there, there's a lot of equipment there right now.
Yeah, there is,
So we'll have to.
Yes.
We'll
I'll
have to
find
just figure
spot
out a
for it.
place for it.
Yeah.
okay,
And, I will always say one thing, that gentleman right there is doing a great job on the maintenance department.
awesome, appreciate it.
Damn fly. And that's all I have.
All right, circle back around the bottom, Barb?
I wanna talk about the mobile home park, how they have broken,
Yeah, you took a lot of great pictures.
yeah.
Okay, cause you did go up and you counted all the trailers too. right?
Yes. And, let me see what I'm looking at. So, I know that we just charged a resident $1,000 tampering fee. Well, they should get charged a $1,000 tampering fee for every line they pour up of ours. And we should have it fixed so we know it's fixed properly and make them pay for it, is
Definitely.
my thoughts on this.
Definitely.
And we need to do that sooner or later, cause all of the rainwater's going straight into it. So I don't know if that's something we can, do we need to send them a letter telling them this, or do we just do the work and bill them?
I agree, I mean, they need to be held accountable. This is a topic that's been brought up before, and I think the town just hasn't, held them accountable for damage that they've caused. I think what gets a little bit tricky is who really did cause the damage. So,
Well, it wasn't us.
I know that for sure. But
They were
if
responsible for their.
if a tenant leasing a lot up there arranged for a mover to come in and connect to their unit, and that hauler pulled it off and tore the boot or damaged our system, then that person should be held accountable. I mean, they damaged municipal property, they have liability for that. But I don't know that we can attribute that directly to ownership of the mobile home park, because it wasn't their agent or anyone they hired that caused that to happen.
But
In other cases,
they're supposed to contact us, right?
I'm getting there.
Yeah, okay.
In other cases, it may be them, right? But I think the starting place here is to enforce the notice requirement that anytime a unit is taken in or taken out, we have to be given notice. Because then we have the opportunity to figure out who it is and who to hold responsible. And in my phone calls and emails back and forth with the new owner's attorney, that's one of the issues that we've talked about, and he had no objection, readily acknowledges that the settlement agreement that we have with the park requires them to give that notice, and that he promises that they will comply with that going forward. Going back, I think it's gonna be tricky to figure out who did what when. But going forward, I think it's about us being present and knowing when it happens, so we can monitor it.
But
As
we
it
bill the trailer park, if we do work and for any trailer, we go in there and do, we bill the trailer park, right? And then,
Yeah, it
yes,
should be, yeah.
no, and then if they go to collect their money, that's their choice.
Okay.
So to me, this is no different.
That's fine. If billing them and they pay it, that works, then I would send them a bill for all of it.
Okay,
I think we need to
Absolutely.
write that
at
up.
least try.
Yeah, we need,
Sure.
we need to get with English, cause you know, they made a list, they're not even English anymore, I don't know the right name.
No, it's not.
But the list
Person.
they made versus the list that
That you got.
me and Brad went and got, and I thank you so much for helping me with all that, Brad. I want you to be recognized for that. Is a lot, that is a big difference
A big difference in what?
from what the ones we counted that was,
The damage they
Damage,
found
yeah.
compared to.
cause we had English give us.
Oh, I didn't know you had it. I
Yeah,
didn't-
the first one,
I thought you were talking about something you got from the ownership.
no, we got it,
Okay.
we paid English to go look at them,
Oh, okay.
and they didn't count nearly as many as we
As you
counted.
found.
If you guys had high grass and leaves and stuff like that, you had to kick around so you could find them, am I correct? Yeah, so that's probably why
More
we haven't
leaves than
seen those,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Being on vacant lots, they're just kinda covered up, most of them are into the ground, so at least we know where some of the water is being filtered.
The pictures you took in the list were forwarded on to their attorney last Wednesday, with a request that, I made clear that the damage was caused when units were moved away. The town has not been notified of any disconnections. We will need to agree on how the damage will be repaired.
Right.
So they have that information already.
Well, I think there are lines we did, how we want them fixed. I wanna make sure they're fixed right, so I prefer us to hire our own people to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So does somebody wanna get with English about that, or want me to get with English?
Mike, would you
How
like,
we move forward?
work with Mike and let Mike do that?
Yeah, I can get in contact with, Mike from English.
Yeah, and then whatever each lot is billed, we're also gonna add a tampering fee onto it.
Okay, so you guys just work together and then get back together.
Okay.
I guess what I've been working on is working with IDEM, just to kind of where we're at, what we, cause they have been paying visits to us, cause we are on their radar. They've been and they made a surprise visit, and we've gotten wrote up on a few things, so they'll be back. Have a meeting with them and the higher-ups this week. And going there, Mitch, myself, and Barb, we've had an opportunity to do an interview for a young guy to work at the sewer plant that has quite a bit of experience doing that. Everybody does have his resume. Mike has met with him as well. My proposal is that we look at his resume. I'd like to offer him a position to work strictly at the sewer plant for right now until we get through the sewer project and get with IDEM. He is very familiar with IDEM as well. He knows them. Very bright young guy.
Very knowledgeable.
Yeah, very, very knowledgeable.
And I've talked to other people outside of that, you know, say he's very reputable,
Yeah.
so.
Also, he works on vehicles, he's mechanic wise, and he's offered to look at the back truck if we hire him. He can give us a list of what's wrong with it, and then he can work, you know. Barb and I had that opportunity of Mike last Friday to meet with him, and Mitch just talked with him as well. I would like to move forward and at least hear what you guys have to say about. I know Marty's only got to see his resume. If we can move forward with this, or what your thoughts, Mike, even with your thoughts on that as well.
Mine, everything I've seen and talked to him, I think he'd be a good fit.
Yeah, comes very experienced, which is we're not used to. He'll hit the ground running.
He's also very familiar
Well,
with
with our licensed
Operator, yes.
Yes.
He's worked under him.
That's the important part.
He has been through a year and a half of the Alliance program. And what I have found out is he doesn't have to go back and complete the last 6 months. As long as he works under Ray a year, Ray can sign it off for us, and he passes a test, Ray can sign that license. And then another year under Ray, he can become the operator after he takes the test. So we do not have to send him through the Alliance program.
That's good.
So I was able to find that out as well. So, and I talked to Ray, he's willing to do that, you know, be under him for 2 years, and then he could possibly be the next operator. We wouldn't have to contract that out, we would have it in-house.
That'd be perfect.
Yes, and from what I talked with Eli,
Yeah.
he wants to make this a long-term fit for
Yes,
him.
that's what he said.
He's a young guy, he's got a young family, and I think he would give us 110%.
Yeah, I think it's a great time to bring him in with all the sewer projects.
Yeah,
that's going on,
all the
so
changes going on.
He gets to learn as,
Well, and this is gonna take pressure off Mike and Troy. He can go to the sewer plant, cause he said it's 6 hours, but there's other stuff that he can do down there.
yeah.
And he can get us in compliance pretty quick with that, and that will take that off. I know eventually we need to get another maintenance person under Mike, but if we can get the sewer plant taken care of first, I think that's first and foremost our most thing that needs to be done.
Cause I forget how long he said he wanted to just do the sewer, and then he wants to go to the
Water.
lift stations
Yeah,
and
lift
stuff like
stations.
that.
He can
Yeah.
work on all the lift stations, he can pull the pumps, rebuild the pumps. So,
Yeah.
we're not just getting an operator to come in, we're getting a mechanic as well with him.
Hands-on guy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
very bright, so.
I say we hire him.
Okay, are you with that?
I'm good with that.
Are you good with that? Okay.
That's my concern.
Yeah,
We
and
need-
And we did put him on like a
60-day thing, yeah.
kind of probation kind of
listen,
stuff.
and he already said he's the type of person, he will do preventive maintenance, which we've not had in the past. He records everything, he keeps records for everything, and then when we need something for the board member, needs one of the board members, or hey, I get this, then this is where I'm at. So if something happens that he has to take off, at least we know where he's at.
Right.
And he'll be able to cover Ray if Ray takes a vacation as well, so it's all, everything can be done in-house. I think it's gonna be what we need for the sewer plant, is somebody who's very organized, very detailed. That can do
Cares.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the main thing, is the caring part.
Right.
so if you guys are good with me moving forward,
Sure.
okay. I'll get with Mike and we'll get a start date, and we'll get him hooked up. Lori, we'll get him with you on that. You already got a package together, perfect.
Yeah, cause just because maybe next Monday,
He said he'd be here for Friday, if we could get everything,
Yeah.
he'd be here Friday to meet with us with
Well, that's
Mike.
cool.
We have a big meeting with IDEM on Friday.
Can I attend that?
Yes. So, and the reason IDEM is coming Friday is because Kevin Stark, who is our IDEM person, he's went back to his boss and told her,
I don't remember her name.
anyway, that told her how hard it is for small towns like us, what struggle it is to find finances to make sure our sewer's in compliance. So she's bringing her boss down to see our plant, to see what kind of struggles we have and what money struggles, you know, to take care of what we have and what we're trying to do to make it a better system. So we are in compliance with IDEM. So I'm looking forward to the meeting on Friday to meet all of them to see where we're at.
I'm glad
Because
you
if
are.
I didn't find this, it's a $10,000-$20,000 fine.
Yeah.
So we pay too many of them, we could almost pay for the dang project.
Right, but no, so I'll report on that next month how it goes. I really do, I think it'd be a great meeting with them.
I think they'll understand more about how things are done and the struggles that we've had
Yes,
in the past.
and Barb's gonna go with me on that one, so. But if you guys, that way, that's what I've been working on, and then I'll reach out to Eli and we'll get that started.
Sounds great.
I mentioned that, I checked your employee handbook, and the probationary period in the handbook is 90 days.
Okay, we can,
Well, that's what I thought.
I think if you wanna deviate from that, you have the authority to do
I think
that,
he
but I
said-
just wanted you to
we
know.
said 60 to 90.
That's
He
what
was
it
okay
says.
with
We was
it.
thinking 90 and he was kinda like 60.
And I said, well, maybe 90, and he's like, okay, he was okay with that.
Okay.
It's not gonna deter him from
No.
the job, he said, so, yeah, okay. Approval on board minutes for
I'll make a
October.
motion to approve minutes for, do we have dates here?
October 14th. 2025.
Oh, what is it? Yes, for October 15th.
Okay, Barb made a motion, it's on the floor, Marty seconded, all in favor? Okay, carried. All right. Brad, anything good?
So last meeting, you asked for a quote for your police vehicle, I obtained that, all of you should have a copy of that.
I wonder what that was.
They do have some in stock out there. At Kelly Chevrolet, that's who has the state bid for the Chevys. So I would just need a vote. A, on the settlement we had from the insurance company, on how we spend that money. And then also, which $5,000 less than that now, because it's been 2 months since Lori got the payoff on the 22 Explorer. But 5,000 that needs to pay that truck, that car off, and then, like we use 15,000 of it to put down on the new one, that means about $9,400 roughly for the equipment to outfit the
So total all is what we would be, like 40,
We would finance somewhere around 40,000.
For a tall hog, you can't beat that. I make a motion that we buy the vehicle.
I'll second that motion.
Barb motion made the first motion, Mitch seconded it, all in favor? Mike?
Well, as y'all know, that we had one employee leave, which is the reason why we're looking at hiring Eli. Had the white 3/4 ton truck go down on us again, so we got it back, it's going. We've got it rigged up for the spreader. We've checked some plows and stuff.
Okay,
So we're just trying to get prepared for the winter. Just Troy and I now, so we're just trying to take care of the wastewater in the water plant as much, and then trying to get work orders done. That's about all we have.
Did you get the salt spreader fixed?
I got it running.
That's not that over the salt spread.
So-
it's last year.
So at least the motor wasn't locked up on it.
It was, but I got it freed up,
Okay.
and if it's running, it starts on the first pull. So I'm
Okay.
gonna try to get a starter for it, so we don't have to sit out there and yank on it.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to find a starter. 'Cause-
Is that what was wrong with it, was the starter?
No,
Is it just because you guys cleaned it?
could have been, I don't know, or lack of maintenance.
Yeah, you
They're-
greased
they're old, I don't know.
everything up and now.
But I really would like to look at getting another one.
We have 10.1 miles of street in the town of Brooklyn. There's
If
no
we have
way to
one- if we have
convince me
one
that we need
spreader-
another salt machine.
If we have one spreader and it goes down, then what do you do?
We get it.
Stay home.
We all stay home.
Yeah.
No, unfortunately, I don't work that way.
Did you get the shifter fixed on that?
Yes,
Okay,
everything went through, I mean, we replaced the brakes on it, the rotors, the
Okay.
drums, fixed the steering column,
Okay.
everything.
good.
Yeah,
All right, so we're good shape on that truck then?
it's good to go for the winter.
Okay, all right.
And got the oil changed on it, everything, so.
I know you had already brought one quote for the, salt spreader. Is there any way we can get a second quote?
I can get one from Premier,
Okay.
I'll find
If you
another
get a
one.
second quote, that would.
Yeah, it'd be a different brand and
That's
stuff,
fine.
so,
Yeah, I just need to, we just need a
Okay.
second quote on that.
yep,
Anything else?
that's.
Good, okay. Lori?
Just that the next week, Thursday and Friday, the office will close down for, software training. And then, of course, for the Thanksgiving weekend, or Thanksgiving, that Thursday and Friday after that also. We have been speaking with, BS and A about the new software, and that should be coming in February, we're gonna be trained on that. And hopefully we can get all that up and running and be able to tie in with the website, so people will be able to go online and be able to pay their bills online. The website is up and running, the town website, we do now have the new pictures that have been uploaded as of, I think it was yesterday, is when last I looked and saw, and they were all up there, so we do have that. There's still some minor things that we need to, don't know if you guys would like to do a little bio of yourself and have a picture of yourself on there, just some little odds and things. So far we need to do. I don't want mine done.
Look at our face.
But, so, and people, you are able to send a message in if they are wanting a service request or anything like that, you can go on the website and send it in.
It's live to do that now?
Yeah, you can do that now, and, there's an automatic email that we get, and that we can, send it to have the proper person, until we're able to have designated emails for certain things.
But they still can't pay the bills.
No, not as yet, no,
Do you know like when that might be?
I'm hoping in February.
Yeah, that's what she said, the new
For
software.
the new software.
Yeah, so it has to all be about the new software that way.
Yeah, they're designing everything now, I've sent them over all of our information, sent them also a thumb drive, which we will not have to be using thumb drives any longer or anything, everything will be up at the cloud.
What's the website? How do people access the website?
It is townofbrooklyn.org, I believe.
.in.gov is what I'm seeing.
Is it? Okay, I put it
Well,
on
I
our.
found, that's what is showing up
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
I put it on our Facebook page, the exact, and I don't remember what it is off the top of my head.
Isn't it on our bill too?
Do what?
Is that on our bill? I thought I saw a website on it.
Right, that was for the design, is what they've been doing right now. It just went with it, just going up live. But I did, that was put on the Facebook page of the actual,
Yeah, looks good.
link to it. Okay.
That's good.
And then if you, also, if there's anything that you can think of that might need tweaked or something, this is our first one, so I don't know. So your help would be valuable.
And what I wanted to say is, because we've had a lot of feedback, our Facebook page for the town council is strictly information on that
Oh,
page.
yeah.
That's why we haven't had anybody comment. It's just informational stuff right now. What's going on in the town with the construction and everything like that. That is what that page is set up to do. We'll be going Facebook Live next month. We'll have 2 out here. That way we can still record for our YouTube. We still don't have 50 subscribers, so we can go live. We're getting close though. We're halfway there. That's it.
For the Facebook one?
Yeah, we can start on Facebook Live now, that I've got everything put up on our town, iPad now, it's set up, ready to go.
And we don't know how long that stays, cause we only gotta keep it for like 30 days.
I think it's 30 or 60, I have to go back and double check.
Yeah, I think it's 60, I don't know why.
I don't 100% remember if that was,
We might need to
class beginning of the year.
Yeah,
Find that out.
yeah,
That would decide if we need one or two.
yeah, okay, we can do that. Park board, anything?
No, I can think of.
Okay. Old business, Brooklyn Fire Department, volunteer fire department contract.
I'm here.
Okay.
So listen, I cannot find 2025 to compare it word for word. I thought word was out today due to a family, so I didn't bother her about that. But I usually look word for word because they've been known to try to change it, and I would like to do that. I mean, we can discuss the money part of it, but.
I'm missing this stuff. Is there a $50 figure in the contract?
Yeah, 8, the 8.
Okay. Oh, gotcha. Their contract last year was what, for 82, 85?
87.
87? Okay.
Now at 15 now.
That's what, a 30% increase or something?
It's $28,000 more.
How many?
It's $28,000 more from last year, so you got 30%.
That's what I can.
Can I ask why you asked for a 30% increase?
It's because the staffing.
Can you kind of stand up to that mic there for us, that way we can hear? Thank you.
It's because of the staffing, mostly. Because this will be our third year that we're gonna staff. So we're staffing 5 days a week, 8 to 5, or 8 to 4. Would like to go to 5, with 2 people. So,
Is this currently in our station here, or
Yes.
are you up on the hill?
no, we've been at your station, or this station, since August of last year.
I just noticed cars here recently, I haven't noticed any since.
Yeah, August of last year. When we started this, we were in a joint agreement with Gregg Township, and that's why we were up on the hill, and they were paying for one person, we were paying for one person. But then when the bridge closed on Rob Hill, that split us up. And so we put one person out at Gregg Township and one person down here. So we've actually had somebody here since summer of last year. But then they elected to get out of the arrangement last August, so that's when we started on our own.
Okay,
And then, so since we've been down here,
Who's they elected to get out?
Gregg Township. So we're on our own, just serving our own area, the township and the town.
You're not up on the hill whatsoever anymore?
Volunteers, we're not staffing it. This is a staff program where we have people that are staff here, but we still have our volunteers as well that respond during the day or on off hours. We're, as a volunteer department, we don't have a lot of people. We've got around 20 to 22 people. We've got about 10 to 12 people who make runs. The average number of people on a run could be 2 to 4. That's on a good time frame. Sometimes we may get one, sometimes we might not get anybody middle of the night. Daytime, if we didn't have the staffing, we could very likely get nobody. We only have 3 to 4 people that live in the town. The rest of us live in the township or out of the area in our buffer zone, and most of those are the people that are on our daytime staffing program.
the ones that live out of the area?
What's the
that's on-
buffer zone consist of?
we've expanded our area to people that live like up in Mooresville. We've got a 10-mile radius from the town of Brooklyn. That they don't they're too far out to do volunteer, but they can come and either sit on station, some of the younger people do that, or the people that we pay. The people that we pay are still members, but they may live further out. So they wouldn't necessarily come in for a run in the middle of the night.
Because Kenny Berwick moved out, and so you guys made him a lifetimer, so he could still stay there.
Right,
Am I correct?
right.
Well, his son lives with him.
No, he
So
doesn't.
I'll beg to differ, but how does he get to sit on that board?
He doesn't. He lives in Bargersville. He hasn't lived with Kenny for about a year and a
So
half.
that's even further.
He's a paid person. Paid people can live a little further out.
You guys just make it your own.
Barbersville's a long way from.
He's not a volunteer. He's a paid person. He works his shift. He comes in and works his 8-hour shift.
Well, what if we
So-
don't make it?
I guess my question is, would you wanna pay the people who live in the Brooklyn area versus paying somebody that lives outside of the area?
We would pay anybody that would come, but we don't have people that
Okay.
want to do that. We've had to reach out further to get people.
What do you guys pay them for the per shift?
15
15 an hour? Okay.
15 an hour. And that, we need to expand that time, but I'm not here to expand
No,
time
I'm
tonight.
just trying to, so I can
Yeah.
put it all together.
So we got two facets. We still got a volunteer side,
Mhm.
and we pay them a run stipend, the volunteers. If they make a run, we pay them a $15 a run pay. That's paid twice a year. That's paid either in July and then the end of December.
Okay.
So,
And you have your paid staff.
so we've got a daytime staffing payroll, and right now that payroll is around 62,000, just for our daytime staffers.
So up on the hill, they did away with that.
We brought it down here.
What if we don't want it down here?
Well, we can go back to the hill, and then we'll have a 5 to 10 minute response time down here.
Okay.
Why would you want that?
So your salary, how many
Because we can't.
paid positions do you have?
Like I said, we have 2 on per day,
Okay.
and we have probably 8 people that are paid on that
That's
staffing
what I mean,
program.
how many in that staffing program?
We have, off the top of my head, 8,
Okay,
and then they sign up for shifts prior. I'm one of the schedulers, and then we give them shifts for the next month.
okay, so you do monthly shifts, okay.
So like I do 2 to 3 shifts. I do 4 to 6 shifts a month, most months, not in the busy season, fall and spring. Charlie works some shifts, and then we've got John Fletcher, that's our assistant chief. He works some shifts. William works some shifts. We just hired 2 younger boys to work some shifts. So we've got our designated shift people, and then we've got our designated volunteer people.
Okay.
So, to get with the proposed contract amount for both the town and the township, which is the same, and then with our expenses, our yearly expenses, we will just about break even. And that's with payroll, that's with insurance, that's with all our testing, annual testing, that's our estimated repairs. We're looking at I got an estimate of $216,000 in annual expenses. And then with the 2 entities combined, our contract amount would be $230 combined. And if we were to add, let's say we added one more hour a day. Let's say we had somebody there 8 to 5, 2 people there 8 to 5, 1 more hour a day for 5 days. That would add $7,800. That's at the $15. If we added another day, say we staffed Saturdays, because it's hard for us to have people on weekends to make runs, then that would add another $12,500. I'm just throwing these numbers out so You have an idea. But if we don't get the increased, then we're gonna have to probably back off on our staffing, because we're not gonna make it. You know, we've got, truck, and right now, this is all just actual expenses, truck payments. We got 2 tankers, we pay $46,300 per year. That's on 2 trucks, and we have 8 more years to pay that. That was a 15-year loan. Our daytime staffing, as I mentioned, right now is 62.5-ish. These are estimates, what I got, estimates. Total insurance, this is all our insurance we pay. Workers' comp, everything, liability, everything, $66,000. Our run stipend for our volunteers, this is a variable expense, 11-ish, 12-ish. End of year clothing allowance, we have to pay each member $400 a member, $8,800. Annual compliance testing on equipment. That's our pump test, our hose test, our ladder test, our extrication equipment test, $14,500. And then just annual repairs, and this is variable here. Annual repairs, tires, equipment replacement. I'm not talking big equipment. I'm talking if we need hose or we break something. That's at $7,500, and that's minimum. We've got a truck there now that it operates, but to really get it to operate like it should, we can't get a firm quote, but we're looking at least $10,000. And we have nothing in here for putting money away for apparatus down the road. We would like to get a new squad to replace our older Expedition, but right now we can't do that. So this is all it takes just to get by each year.
Do you have an extra copy of that? Because I've never seen the expenses for the fire department.
Yeah, I've got, yeah.
Okay.
I just made this up today, just so there was something to
Yeah,
kind of go by.
that way we can kind of look at that.
Our estimated runs, I didn't get the actual run count. I think year to date, we're probably around 350 to 400.
Yeah, probably.
And last year, we were around 600.
625, I think.
Okay. That's a lot of runs for a volunteer department. That's why we really need the staffing, especially. We need staff, if it was a perfect world, we should have staffing 24/7.
Right.
We're to that point. And that's what we'd like to try to get to eventually, but that's a long way off. We're just trying
Then you
to,
wouldn't be a volunteer fire department.
we'd still be volunteer. You'd just have staff, you'd have your volunteers supplementing your staff. Because we can only afford 2 people per shift.
Right.
And I did want to make the comment that the new EMS station will not change our run load. We respond with EMS. The only difference that EMS station is going to give us is it's a different ambulance coming than Brown. Right now, Brown comes.
Right.
They'll be coming from down there.
Yeah.
But we still will go on all EMS runs.
You don't go on all the MS runs now. How are you gonna tell us you're gonna go on all?
We go on all EMS. We're automatically dispatched on every EMS around there is.
People don't show up.
Then, hence the staffing. If we don't show up, that's because
At night
nobody
they don't show
could, huh?
At night they don't show up. We're not
That's
gonna-
exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly, what did I just say here? Sometimes you don't get a response, sometimes at night.
You did say that.
We don't have the
No, but
volunteers.
you're telling us that you go to every one when you're.
We're dispatched. We are dispatched.
There you go.
We're dispatched. So that's why we are behind on our increments. We should have been bumping up more and more and more and more.
We're not getting bumped up more and more and more and more. Where are we supposed to get it from?
I'm sure there's a place you can find it.
That's what everybody says.
I'm sure there's a place you can find it.
Yeah, this will help. Thank you, I appreciate that.
Anybody else like a copy? And these are estimates, very, 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 very close.
Maybe do one for Kevin.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that's the justification, but like I said, if we're gonna break even, we're not making money, don't worry about that, we're gonna break even.
Okay.
And it's just to keep the staffing. So we can make the runs, so that we do have, but again, in a perfect world, we should be 24 hours. So there, even with this staffing, even with this increased budget, I'm not guaranteeing that there will be somebody in the middle of the night respond with that ambulance. You will get an ambulance in the middle of the night.
Right.
But that ambulance may not have fire FD support.
Yeah.
They may have FD support from Mooresville, they may have it from Brown. But it just happens.
Yeah.
Sometime middle of the night,
Yeah.
and then they rely on us to be able to, to go on every run all the time.
Right.
It's just getting harder.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, I think I've asked my questions. Does anybody else on the board have a question for him? This is a lot to digest, because like I said, we've not seen numbers before. So.
In all due respect to the council, I'm the treasurer, I've been the treasurer for 8 years, no one's ever asked for those numbers.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, we
Yeah.
have.
Oh, yes, we have, that's a lie.
It's never gotten to the treasurer. I would
But
provide.
that's something that should be, you would think.
It's an annual report that you guys are supposed to give monthly.
Yeah, well, annually, yeah.
And we
Okay.
have asked people that have been here.
And you haven't been here, but we have asked for this before, and I've met one-on-one with some of them before, and they,
Never have.
so, but this is black and white, so this kind of lets us see what we're talking about. We can put
And keep in mind, any of you can attend our monthly meetings.
Yeah, Kevin, he's our liaison.
Yeah,
Fire
he
department.
comes.
He does
And
attend
Mitch has
those.
been there a few times.
Yeah.
But you can, in our treasurer's report, it's clear every month what our finances are. So,
And you guys meet what Sunday of the month, the first Sunday of the month?
first Sunday,
First, okay. sorry.
6:30.
And additionally, there are 16 fire departments in this county. You got 3 full-time departments, City of Mooresville, Brown Township, and the City of Martinsville.
Mhm.
Of the rest, the volunteer departments, we are the busiest by 200 runs at least. The other volunteer departments average 450, 425, 450.
Okay.
Most of the other departments, with the exception of A&A, which is Eminence, most of the other departments, and Paragon, have staffing of some type, whether it be daytime staffing, nighttime staffing, but they all have some type of staffing. It's just happening, it's just getting to that point.
Alright, this gives us something to look at, and you wanna look versus the last year's contract to this first contract, right, Barb?
Yes.
You wanna,
Mhm.
okay, alright. So, when do we have to have their contract signed by?
This next month.
Okay, alright.
Thanks for giving me your time.
No, thanks for bringing this, like I said, this is the first time we've had numbers, so that helps.
I thought it would help, that's why I
I
drafted
do
it.
appreciate it, I do, 'cause I like to look at numbers when people are talking to me about big numbers, so, alright,
But like I said, if we don't get the increase, we're gonna have to cut back something.
okay, alright,
So, thank you.
thanks.
Oh, and we want to keep 2 people because it's not safe to have one person. You need 2 people, So going to one person really isn't a viable alternative. We need 2 people.
Okay.
Thank you.
Business, we're gonna, Keegan, you wanna give us an update, you and Steve, where we're at?
Yeah. Thank you. I'm Keegan Dunn. I'm with HWC Engineering. I'm the project manager for the wastewater project. Steve Brock and John Query from our office. Steve Brock's your financial advisor, obviously. it came to our attention that there were some issues with a loss of customers at the mobile home park. This directly relates to the funding for the wastewater project. Based on Steve's analysis, this would necessitate another rate increase based on the reduction of around 150 homes or so. HWC, the town did ask to reach out to the contractors as they are in construction to see if a potential reduction in the scope of the project could help offset that. Acknowledging that if we do decide to reduce scope, there are still going to be non-compliance issues with IDEM. You will not be addressing all of the requirements of your agreed order. However, even in doing that, in a reduction of project scope, we're still left with a little bit of a shortfall. I'll kind of let Steve go into the details on that, but that's kind of a general overview of where the project is. And then John and I are here to answer questions in terms of technical questions, where construction's at, and things of that nature. But I'll let Steve kind of go a little bit more into the financial.
All right, thank you.
As Keegan had said, we learned that the mobile home park wanted to eliminate some of their billing from the 494, approximate 494 they have been billed every month to a lesser number. And we had counted on that revenue from the mobile home park when we had implemented our second rate increase to pay for the Division B project. So with the reduction in revenue from them, we no longer cash flow. We no longer have enough revenue coming in to pay the expenses on the operation, maintenance, repair, replacement, and debt service, current debt service, and then in the future debt service on this Division B final financing that would allow us to close our loan with the Indiana State Revolving Loan Fund. So when we learned that, I'm trying to see here, sorry about that.
No, get out. Come
Go
on.
ahead? Okay. Thank you.
We need to be able to hear him.
Good,
So that's-
yeah, I just want to make sure that, you tell me what you want me to do and I'll do it. Does somebody have a copy of my summary sheet here? If not, I'll be glad to give another one out. Yeah, just so everybody has numbers in front of them. Just said earlier, I have to have numbers in front of you, so I'm always glad. In front of you. Do that. So, I get that? Absolutely. So I put together this little summary sheet to kind of show where we are, and we had some of us had a phone conversation a week or so ago. We were talking about this, and I think I concluded with the statement that I don't think anybody on this side is recommending that you reduce the project, but we're not decision makers. So we're trying to give you the information that you need in order for you to make the best decision for the community. And so, in summary, when we're losing, and Lee can explain this better than I can, when we're losing the billings from the mobile home park, we're not making our budget. We have revenues to cover our budget, so we need to find another way to do one of two things: either to reduce our budget, which means reduce project costs, or another rate increase to bring the revenues up to the point that doesn't need to be, so we can close our financing with the State Revolving Loan Fund, and that's another kind of a side issue on our difficulties there. And there are two things that we're kind of looking at. One, and again, Lee's on top of so much of this. I'm going to say that we had approximately 494 customers in Mobile Home Park. Mobile Home Park says it's 493. The town, the records say it's 494, and then for the mobile home park, they had 366 that were connected, and they had of 95 that had lots that were vacant with no home on lot, and then they had 32 with lots with home connected but unoccupied. And the initial conversation with them was that they just wanted to eliminate the 95. And then the second letter I think that they sent in to Lee was that they wanted to eliminate the 95 and the 32. So what I did, trying to make sense out of all this, is to then talk to the engineers, and they said, well, here's what could possibly still be, and that's under item 2 here, that's what could possibly still be reduced. And item 3 shows how much we can, that will, if we reduce all 1,546,211 of project reductions that the engineers say can still be reduced, that's going to lower our annual cost by $89,715. And if we wanted to lower cost by $3.5 million, it would actually, and that's under item 3 also, reduce our annual expense by $203,000. Then we go on the second page and we show the receipts from mobile home park and what we're gonna have, and I'm showing that if we have 398, which means that we lose the 95, that we're gonna have $152,000 reduction. But that second letter that came in from the mobile home park said they wanted to reduce the additional 32, and that's gonna bring us down to 366 approximately, and we're gonna lose then annually $203,658. So I went down to item 5 and tried to show you what the increase in rates and charges would be in an estimation if we lost that. We lost the 95, which we're gonna lose the 95. So it shows at 494, we're currently $114. If we go down to 398, which we're gonna lose the 95 because it says the mobile home park says that they're vacant lots with no home on the lot, then that would mean that rates would have to go up to $126. And if we lose the additional 32, rates would have to go up to 131. So that's if there's no reduction in project cost under item 5. So now we're in a situation where we don't have enough project cost to reduce, to not have a rate increase. So it's whether you want to try to reduce some project cost and then minimize the rate increase, or whether you want to not reduce any project cost and increase those rates to something right around $131.33. Now the second item that we're looking at is trying to close our loan with the state revolving loan fund for item B. We took out a short-term financing, a ban that we've got time on. And in our last conversation, state revolving loan fund, they said 2 things. They said there's no reason to not go ahead and start with construction, so we started with construction. And because previously said we couldn't do that if we wanted to use them for a funding source. And then he also said either close this by January or don't close it at all, which made me very nervous, and I just wanted to relate that as well. So we're trying to keep them happy and trying to give them additional information. January is a funny date for us to try to close a loan in because it's something that's very complicated in the way we have to prove our numbers to them from our current debt to be able to close our new debt. It's called an additional bonds test, and I have to use 2025 year-end numbers, and we're not going to have 2025 year-end numbers until mid to January 2026. And if they want us to close in January, there's as much time to get everything together to them and have them close everything. So what Lee had suggested, and Lee, correct me if I'm misstating what you, is that, hey, let's go back and see if we can get a little bit of an extension from January and go into maybe February or March. And I said, yeah, to do that, maybe we could show them something and give them something, and what we give them would be information. What I would suggest is if we can tell them, hey, if you can let us close our loan in like March, we can show you, because they don't know yet that we've got this reduction in mobile home park, and it's going to make them very nervous. But if you can let us go in, say, March to close a loan, then we can raise rates whatever we need to, and show you that with the loss of the mobile home park revenues, that we have increased revenues to the point we can show you we're collecting the revenues we need to close our loan. So I think that was a good idea on these, but as a way to try to give them something, to give them incentive to let us have a little bit longer to close our loan. But then it comes back to you having to make a decision pretty rapidly because this is November. And if we have implemented rates, additional rate increase, it's a 2 to 4 week process. Is that fair, Lee? 2 to 4 weeks to raise rates and charges?
At least, yeah.
At least, to be able to give time for those rates to get implemented and then collected would be another 30 days, because once you implement them, it's collected another 30 days later. So a lot of moving parts here. But what I'd like to, what I wanted to show you initially is that we're losing revenue from the mobile home park, and certainly 95 of that's not going to come back. 95 of that is based on the homes that, the lots they have that are vacant with no home on the lot. And then they've got the additional 32, which is the last letter they sent to you per Lee. So they want those taken off their bill also, and those are lots with homes connected but are unoccupied. And how you want to deal with those requests for the mobile home park is between you and Lee and what state law allows. But from a financial aspect, I need to be able to show the state revolving loan fund what our revenues are going to be, and that we have rates and charges that are sufficient to collect the revenues to be able to close our land and pay our expenses. And then they still require this thing called 1.25 debt service coverage ratio I've got to prove also. And I can do all that. I've kind of rolled that all into these summaries here, and again, I don't have 2025 year-end data yet, but I'm estimating it's going to be pretty close to 2024, and that would put our rate right around that 131 if we don't reduce any project costs. And then in our last phone conversation with the engineers, we talked about that and what item and how they're going to look at this, and your superintendent, and he said some of these things it doesn't make any sense to reduce because you're not going to get off your agreed order of the item, and if you're not off your agreed order of the item, then you're going to have to do the work at some point anyway, and costs seem to keep increasing as we go forward, and I think the expectation would be that if we don't do it now, then if we have to do it later, then it would be more expensive later. So we don't really seem to have any good answers, but that's kind of a broad summary of where we are, and I don't think anybody's asking me to make an answer today, but we do need an answer and a decision just as soon as possible, because I need to get back the state revolving loan fund fairly quickly, ask permission not to close the loan in January, and maybe I'll have a list of things I want me to show them to be able to close the loan in January. And see if we can get that extension we kind of mentioned to get into March. But to do that, I've got to kind of promise them they're going to get some additional information or some reason that they think that they'd be better off allowing us additional time. That's a lot of information in a short amount of time. I'm up here to answer questions. Your engineer's up here to answer questions. Lee is always good at answering questions. I'll just go back to council and
I have a question. So after we did where everybody was in here talking you guys were on the laptops and whatever. Me and my friend Brad over there, we get pretty close. He took me over and we counted the trailers. There's 398 trailers, but there's also the office and maintenance, which would make it, because they're connected, $399. And apparently, I'm thinking the office isn't paying nothing and been getting by with that for a long time.
That's a good point.
So, and that was trailers that was there. And most of them have for sale signs in it. You really think they're gonna unhook it to sell it? I mean, I don't get that. I don't think they're gonna unhook. That 366 number to me is bullcrap.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna get underneath every trailer to see if they've been.
Could be that the
I did a lot of
366
stuff.
and the 32 is the 398 you're talking about?
Yeah.
That's the 366, which is the lots both connected and occupied, and the 32 is the lots with homes connected but unoccupied. That sounds like it's really close to your 398, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is-
It was
But,
398
I
plus
mean,
the
you
office.
really count 399.
But
It may not be a
399.
trailer, but
Yeah.
It's an office, yeah, that's what she said, yeah.
That makes sense, makes sense. And I'm just gonna, just because I don't know, I'm gonna ask, can we not charge them for the 32 that are connected but not occupied?
Yeah.
Okay,
I think we do.
They'll charge until they're disconnected.
okay.
They just
okay.
expressed their intent to
To
disconnect.
disconnect.
Yeah.
So if they
Okay.
here's my question, if they disconnect, are they gonna move that trailer? Or are they just gonna say they disconnected?
no, this is just gonna disconnect it and then hook it back up when they sell it, is what they say. But this disconnecting stuff they do sure is tearing up our, you see the issues that
Tearing
they're
up our
calling
lines.
to. Yes.
And who's to say that they're not gonna connect more and later down the line?
We don't know if they go right behind us and,
That's right.
Well, that, just because they sell a trailer doesn't mean it's not gonna be a resident that moves into that
That's
trailer on that
right,
lot.
exactly.
yeah,
So that number is low, it's gotta be.
it's way low. And I think that we should go by the 399 because the office / main,
So they've got the wrong
which is-
number in here.
they're built together, so I don't know that we can bill them separately because there's only a wall between them. But they need to be paying as well.
Lori has a question.
Lori, do you know whether that,
This is the number here.
the office or whatever is metered in a separate account or not?
Not that I know, I don't, what, through Stillwater or anything, or?
No,
Yeah,
Or
I mean-
not for us, no.
You don't send a bill to the office, it's a separate bill?
No,
Okay.
no. I do have a question for you. Is this the flat rate fee? Because
Yeah,
what's that one? It's 143.25.
143.25, okay,
Yes.
okay, then I can make that, that's better,
Yeah.
because that's more, we
Okay,
collect more,
yeah.
yeah. So I'll do that.
Because that's the $12 like this is, because this is a $12 difference.
Yeah.
Well, that's $12 more right there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, cause 4 and 5, like 4 has 132.59, they would be paying for
I just wanted to double check.
366.
And that was the
On the
second
next
phase.
one, it says 131.33, which is lower.
Okay, okay. That's my fault, that's the last time I talked to you, I thought that was the number that you needed now,
No.
so I'll correct that.
Okay.
And is this only what they're gonna be paying, or is this what our residents are gonna be paying too?
So if we have to raise rates, everybody would have an increase. It's not the same rate because the mobile home park's paying more than the residents are paying now.
Unless there's a resident that's on a flat rate fee, then it would be. Anybody who's on a flat rate fee, the ones that have got a well
Yeah,
over on Centenary, they're on a well, they pay a flat fee, so they would be affected.
but most of your,
Most of our residences are metered.
are metered and they pay a lower fee
Yes.
because they use less.
Yes. Well, because,
Well, because they're metered and we know how much they use.
yeah, we don't get to worship our car every
Absolutely.
day.
Yeah. Yeah, this is, that's why I looked at it, all the emails I sent you, but I will resend it. I sent it to you on September 3rd.
Okay, perfect.
I can resend it, it's not a big deal.
They have a way they could even make in more trailers.
What was that?
Yes, there's.
I guess my question is on this here, when we do, if we do raise that, they give us amount. Can that
25.
amount be for 1 year, every
It's
year
not
we revisit
132.
versus every other month when they're moving them in and moving them out?
Well, we could, but we could win.
Do you see what I'm
with it, or we
saying?
could lose with it.
Because they could move in 20 trailers
That's
and move
right.
out 5, and if we just have them paying that 366,
Right,
366 my butt.
I know, but I'm just giving that as an
yeah,
example.
because we got it at 500 now.
You have a settlement agreement that was reached in 2014 or
Right,
whatever.
500.
And,
That was-
no, that's not a part of the agreement.
Yeah.
It says what it says,
That was an agreement.
and that's all you have.
Okay.
And it's a good idea. And you know what happened years ago was the town agreed with management up there that the number would be 500 a month. It was somewhat arbitrary, but that was an agreement that was struck, I think, between the town's billing office and the manager of the park at the time. And so the town has used 500 every month for all these years. That's not what the agreement says. The agreement says they have to pay the per lot fee for every unit connected.
Okay.
So when you say, well, can we agree to, this will be the number for the next year? We can agree if they agree.
Right, I mean, I get it, but it's
Right.
harder for us on our
No,
end.
no, I know,
Yeah.
I know, but the answer to the question is, yeah, but it literally takes an agreement. And they're very much incentivized now to be much more precise about the number of connected units they have, because they don't wanna pay what is now a significantly greater amount for a unit that isn't making them any money. So they're looking at it very closely, and one of the things we talked about, Lori and I have, is a way to cross-reference it would be to get from Hill Water every month what the number of active accounts are up there, because if water's flowing in, water's gotta be flowing out. Now, it doesn't tell us that, it doesn't identify for us the number of units that are not occupied,
It says vacant.
but still
It will say
connected.
vacant.
Hmm?
It will say vacant.
It will say vacant,
Yes,
okay.
it'll say zero
Because
usage.
I
But-
didn't even see
but-
meters for the water. I mean, where it would have the,
I don't know where the water meters are, I could tell you. No.
Brad,
They're usually by each trailer
Did you s-
in a pit.
That's not
Yeah,
the
they're-
agreement, Barb, that's not the agreement.
why not?
Yeah.
But I mean, to be able to read them, to make sure that they have a meter on everything.
Yeah, but I mean, they're gonna make sure they have a meter, because they wanna get paid for their water.
Right.
And so it wouldn't define the number precisely, but what it would do is give us a way to kind of try to keep everybody honest, by cross-referencing it. Beyond that, if there is a unit sitting there on the ground over our connection, and they report to us that it is not connected, and that it should be taken off the list and not billed, the only way we have to verify that is to stick our head under their book.
But
And-
honestly, aren't we supposed to be doing the one that does the disconnecting?
Is what?
Aren't we the ones that's supposed to be doing?
No,
the
we have an
disconnecting?
opportunity to be present and inspect it. It's not up to us to do the work. They'd probably be delighted if we want to volunteer to do it, and hell, Mike's got nothing else to do. So, but the problem is, I get it, that
Because
then
we
if
charge
they
a
say-
$20 trip charge,
if they,
which we don't.
Well, we
we
never
don't, because the folks you had working for you didn't do it.
But yeah.
But if we
And,
start
and they
now,
didn't I
we're looking
mean,
forward and
there's
starting.
there's not much value in looking back at this mess,
That's
right?
what I'm thinking.
But the value is seeing how it wasn't done and trying to make sure going forward that it's done differently. And so we have made real clear to ownership, you're not gonna get a unit taken off your bill if you don't give us notice that it's disconnected, and we have an opportunity to verify that. If we don't get the notice, you're paying for it every month. I don't care if it's connected or not, that's the deal. They're not quarreling about that. But the extent to which we feel like we want to verify that a unit sitting there is not connected, the only way for us to do that is to look at it. But we're starting out with 32. It's not insurmountable to look up under 32 units one time. From that point forward, if they say we've disconnected one, we just gotta go look at one. If they say we brought one in, we just gotta go look at one. We don't have to look at 494 every time we go up there. Once we get this set and start doing it the way it was supposed to have been done all along, I don't think it's such a burden to keep up with it. And I think checking with Hill Water is a way to just simply have another point of reference to elevate our comfort level that the numbers we're getting from them and the numbers we're using are in line with sort of the checks and balances we have in place. I don't think it's so unwieldy to monitor. It's just never been done right. And we need to do it right going forward. But the idea, when you say, well, it's more than 366, that number's too low, or whatever, it isn't too low. It right now is 398. They're telling us they're gonna reduce it to 366. They haven't yet. So when you send the bill this next month, it needs to be 398, not 366.
No, it needs to be 399.
Okay, Barb, we'll true it up. We're talking kind of in conceptual terms, but it needs to be the actual number connected, not reduced by the number that they say they're gonna disconnect, right?
Yeah.
And then if they do disconnect month to month to month to month, we'll try to follow that. But the problem we have with state revolving fund is we cannot go to state revolving fund with the knowledge that they have communicated to us the intent to reduce the number to 366 and not reveal that to state revolving fund. We have to be transparent about that. And I can't speak for state revolving fund, but state revolving fund, like any other bank, like any other lender, is going to have concerns about the number going from 398 to 366, and they're gonna want to make sure the town can make up the loss of revenue if it does go to 366. And the hope is that it won't go to 366. The hope is 398 will go to 450. And I tried to get from the new ownership's attorney, who's the only person I talked to, some sense of what their plan is. I mean, are they gonna go dark and shut the thing down and shove these things in the creek and move on? Or are they gonna try to market this thing and promote it as a new property they just bought and try to make it profitable?
Right.
He says he thinks their goal is to try to market it, lease as many lots as they can, make it as viable and profitable. I mean, they're in the business of doing this. They don't have any desire to just buy something and then not take care of it and not try to make it as good from a business standpoint as they can. So I've not been given any indication that their intent is to kind of let it die on the vine. And why would they, right? I mean, when we had the special meeting back several months ago to talk about the dependency that the town has on the trailer park, we talked about that a bit. And, you know, they make a lot of money. I mean, these mobile home parks make a lot of money. You know they make a lot of money.
Yes.
You were pretty outspoken at the meeting. And I think
$850.
that
I know.
even
When
with,
I managed it, it was 268.
even with the increase in the sewer rates, it's not so high that it's worth abandoning this investment. But as it sits there at the moment, what they're telling us is they have 366 connected and occupied units, and that it's in their best interest today to not pay for more than 366 connected and occupied units. I don't know what next year holds.
Lee, one thing, just because I was a former manager.
Yeah, I know. You're a good resource.
The 32 that they're saying that are there but not occupied, are we sure that they're not getting rent on those still?
I don't know.
I mean, if they're trailers
But
that
it
they
doesn't-
move in to sell,
It's a great
They're
question.
not.
It ought to matter, but it doesn't. Because what the agreement that the town entered into in 2014 to settle this litigation was if it's connected, they pay.
even
That's-
though it's a residence trailer that the resident is trying to sell, they're still paying
We
lot rent.
get
Where they're still getting that
we
sewer.
get to bill them
For connected.
for every connected unit.
Okay.
And right now there's, what they're saying, 398. They're
Yeah.
saying they're gonna eliminate,
Yes,
but they haven't yet.
they haven't. And
So,
until
I
they
don't know how to
do,
put it on
they
your
gotta
table.
pay. Until they do, they gotta
Until
pay.
we know.
And that may never happen.
Yeah.
But back to the issue with state revolving fund, we can't have this information and kind of not reveal it, and then they come in and disconnect it, and, we just can't. We can't. And the agreement that was negotiated and signed, there are a lot of things about it I wish could be changed. I scratch my head and wonder how it got to be the way it is. But we're stuck, these folks here, you folks there, are stuck with what that agreement says, and that's what it says. To your point,
And how long is that agreement good for?
forever.
Until a new agreement is done?
Yeah, if both parties agree to agree, yeah, I mean, we can always amend it.
Right.
But these are sophisticated people, they're not gonna amend it unless it's amended in a way that somehow serves their interests.
Yeah.
Right.
I
So-
don't want to ask that question.
We can think of all kinds of ways to do it, but they would have to
Just
agree,
needs to be
and
fair
you
on
think,
both.
why would they,
Just
right?
need to be fair for both sides.
Oh, yeah.
When they say a new company's taking it over, they're
It's
just
been sold.
changing, it's just a matter of changing the name.
Right.
It's not really.
So we've got another new company taking it over now?
Just, yeah.
Oh, dear Lord.
So we kind of really need to table this until we get the correct amounts here.
Well,
No,
well,
these are the
so-
wrong amounts. That's right.
Okay,
It'd be 111,000 on the first one, and the second would be 161,000 lost.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get that.
so it's better.
Yes, it's better.
I mean, it's still not good.
Well, but
yes.
yeah, but it's better.
Yes.
That's what, yeah.
But,
Well, actually, I think the loss is more, so it's worse.
what?
The loss is more, so
Oh.
it's worse. The loss is more, so it's worse. So we're losing more money because we got 143 times 95.
Yeah, and then 142 times the 398.
Yeah, that's the original
Yeah, 73.
receipts, and
Okay.
this is not how much we're gonna lose because it's the 143 times what we're
Oh.
gonna lose, which
Yeah,
should
take
be.
off 56,000 instead of 52,000.
Yeah,
it's
so it
more.
should, yeah, so it's
Okay.
gonna be more, so, yeah.
So, a question I have for the council tonight is, it's kind of, and this was what we talked about on the phone the other day, I know, but not all the council members were on the phone because you can't meet unless you're in a public meeting, and so we're doing this in the light of day, and you needed to have all this presented to you. But one thought was, scale back the project. Take components out of the project and not do some of what was included because it either had to be a part of the project in order to comply with items requirements, which was nearly everything, and if I overstated, do. But there may have been some of it too that was done because it just needed to be done, because it was a system that hasn't been neglected and not had set for a long, long time. But you're into it, the project's underway. If you try to carve out those things that could be carved out, you can save $1.5 million or some such thing. And that would help. That would save money, and not require a rate increase that would be as high. But those things would have to be done at some time within the next few years, because IDEM will insist on it being done. And if you kick this down the road and do them then, I assume that the cost to do those things that you take out now and go off and do on their own later is gonna be more than if you forge ahead and stare this down and do them now. So the question is that the decision that the council wants to make, is to do the complete project and deal with the loss of revenue and the need for additional revenue to pay for it? Or do you want to try to figure out some way to carve pieces out of this project?
There's only one
Because
thing
Steve
that needs
needs,
to be eliminated.
Steve and Keegan and John need marching orders from the council on, the engineers need to know, get the project done, if that's your decision. Or they need to say, go pull things out. go start ripping things apart and pulling things out, if that's your instruction. And Steve needs to be told, go figure out what we need in the way of additional revenue to make up this loss, because we're gonna do the whole project. Or Steve needs to be told, we're gonna reduce the cost by taking things out, and then go a different way. And so if there's any inclination on the part of any of you to actually change the scope of the project, that has to happen now. If there isn't, if your decision is, let's get this project done without taking anything away from it, then everybody knows what their marching orders are.
Keegan, I have a question for you though. When we look at reduction on this, I mean, it has 4 of the Division A. Is that too late in the project to take any of those out?
In Division A?
Yeah.
The 3 lift stations, school, mill, and church, have yet to be started.
Okay.
The credits that were offered by the contractor are basically for them to walk away. I mean, they've ordered almost all the equipment, so that would be left, uninstalled. But yeah, I mean, that's the amount that would be credited if those were pulled out.
So now by looking at this, we have to do that, we have to keep the SPR, because that's one of the things with IBM, and the digester as well.
So, yeah, we kind of instructed, so Mitchell and Stark is the contractor for Division B, the wastewater treatment plant. We instructed them to give us numbers for a credit to remove all of the remaining mandatory alternate work.
Okay.
So in the base bid, so what work they're moving forward with, well, they're moving forward with all the work, but we have said, assume that you were gonna complete the equalization tank and replace the equipment in at least one of the SBRs. Everything else was on the table, and those are the numbers that they gave us. So
Okay.
they included the second SBR, the digester, the conversion or modification of the chlorine contact tank to UV disinfection, and I think they left in the equipment, or chemical feed and electrical equipment buildings.
Okay. Yeah.
So this wasn't the SBR that was in the IDM violation.
Okay.
But it's just as
But
old, it's just as shape, so
Right.
it's just
And you,
kicking the can down the road if you don't fix it now.
with the SBRs, you kind of need, I mean, the way they operate, you need both of them operational to really
Yes.
function as they are intended.
Well, because neither one of them are operating properly.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, one's got a line cut somewhere.
Well, right, well, and not all the equipment's even in it.
Yeah.
And also, we would have to reduce everything
Yeah.
that's listed here.
And we're gonna have.
And we're still not gonna,
Not get the
we're still,
chlorine.
yeah, we need $220,000,
The only thing that
and
we
we'd only be able
talked
to
about
reduce
that we didn't-
203, so.
Well, it's actually less than that, right, because the number you put at the bottom, that 3.5 million, that's kind of a placeholder that Steve put in there to show.
To show how much you would need, and we can't
need
get
to
to
pull out
300.
$3.5 million of the
So
project.
we're 2 million short. If we got rid of everything there, we'd still be 2 million short.
And the 203 is your annual, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the annual debt.
Yeah, so it,
The only thing we can do.
unfortunately, at this point, I don't even know why we're still talking about it.
Right.
Because we're not even gonna get there
Right, no.
with the options we have. We're kinda up shit creek at this point.
Correct.
After talking to Ray the other day though, and him talking about this UV, disinfectant system and how each bulb is $700 and
It is, but it's a
Well-
much safer system than the
he
chlorine.
suggested we do away with it.
Even at that, it's not gonna reduce.
No, but, and they already got it bought, so
Yeah.
we'd have to sell it is what we would have to do, but
Yeah.
that's our only thing that we could eliminate
Yeah.
from what I've.
I mean, we can't come close to it, like you said in
No,
that meeting the other
no,
day.
no.
There's no way to cut $2 more million out of there to even get close to even reducing the rates. So we know we have to push forward, we just don't know where we go from there.
But it would be nice to have figures, financial figures of what the residents are gonna have to pay us
Well,
as
but
residents
that-
and trailer park.
That's, if the decision is you're not gonna scale back the project and take anything out, then that is
The next
what
step.
you're asking to have done.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Right, so That would be the next step, and that would require a rate analysis and a proposed rate, and then a notice and a public hearing and a consideration at future meetings. And we also need for Steve to talk with SRF just as soon as possible to see how they're gonna react.
And get an extension, maybe March.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Right.
thank you. Yes.
How much is that revolving loan that we're going for?
How much? Is it 9? I didn't bring all that
Okay,
with me.
I just couldn't remember off the top of my head what it was.
Keegan, what's division?
Division B, I think was, well, the project cost was, 7.8 million,
Okay.
construction cost, minus I think it was $600,000 of contingency from the RD loan, that they were gonna allow to carry over to, pay for Division B as well, so it's around 7 million, 7.2 million.
Let's bring that up while we're there. Originally, when we did Division A and went in to go to Division B, Division A was funded by rural development.
Correct.
And they had more they gave us in their letter of conditions than we had in Division A. So our question to them was, can we, since you've looked at all Division A and Division B and approved Division A and Division B, now we're only gonna close on Division A at this time, can we close our loan with RD for the full, I think it was 8.8 million, which exceeds the amount of Division A, and use the remainder amount in the RD allocation for Division B? And they told me at that point verbally, 2 people from RD, yes, we could do that as long as Division A was closed out before we started to use Division A for Division B. Since then, both those people have left RD, and the SRF is asking me, can we get something in writing from RD that will allow those remaining Division A proceeds to be used for Division B? And I haven't been able to get that yet, because RD's closed down. Hopefully on Wednesday it'll be closed, it'll be open up again, and we can put that request in writing, and hopefully we'll get that. But we don't have that yet. It's one of the last things that the SRF is asking us to prove to them before we close the loan. And the reason they're asking it is because the SRF is looking for an allocation of funds for us, and we want to make sure we can close the project with those funds and not have a short gap. So that's the other thing that we're trying to do that's kind of hanging out there. So there are lots of moving pieces here that we're working on. I just want to let you know about that. As I understand my marching orders now, we're going to put together the final numbers on the assumption that no project costs are being reduced. We're going to ask the SRF for an extension to maybe March or April, so we can put in the additional rate increase that's going to be required. I'll also go back and ask the SRF if there'll be a reduction in the interest rate on the SRF loan, because since
It's dropped.
last year, interest rates have dropped 50 basis points.
Yeah.
And that will help us out on the other side. So we'll see what their answer is for that. And I will, I'll start my conversations with the SRF tomorrow, and I'll get back with the group here, the entire group here, with the answers as they come in. And we'll start on getting the final numbers together to find out what the increase has to be due to the reduction of the mobile home park, with the assumption that the mobile home park reduction is only gonna be that 95 plus the additional one we're gonna have for the maintenance office or the office of the mobile home park. And I think that's all I needed tonight.
Okay.
If that's what you're agreeable to. Does that sound like everything you need, Lee?
Yeah.
That we talked about? Keegan told us it's not everything.
Yeah, I think so.
Sorry to make this so confusing. You've got kind of a complicated project here, and we're trying to do our best to minimize costs for you.
Thanks, Steve.
New business, capital assets project.
In your packet, I've been speaking with the gentleman about the capital asset. We do not have one at all. We were supposed to have had it several years ago, and that was on our audit that we got named for. This gentleman can have it done.
think it says by December.
Steve, hang on a second. Wait a minute. Are you talking about a capital asset management
Management
plan? We don't have one?
For inventories and all of that.
We have and good that you guys are still here, we had to put together a capital asset, management plan for the state revolving loan fund as part of our application.
Right.
Okay,
So,
well, we already have
so
this
we
then.
have that, and so
Okay.
you're talking about this new law that they passed?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it?
So, well, it could be, you guys know, and let's talk about this for a minute, okay?
I'm glad you guys didn't leave.
So,
Yeah, me too.
so the state revolving loan fund had a requirement for asset management plans.
Right.
We had to put one together, for the state revolving loan fund, for the application for our project with the state revolving loan fund. Then the state of Indiana decided that all utilities in the state should, and passed a law on that, should have a capital asset plan, and that the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission is going to be the body that administers that and
I have to have for the whole town.
and requires that. And so there are like 930 municipalities in Indiana, and all of a sudden the IRC is going to have to get capital asset plans and review them for 930 municipalities. And so there's a question of whether the asset management plan for the state revolving loan fund, which is a state agency, would comply with the asset management plan that the IRC is going to administer, which is another state agency. And the idea is probably, but we don't know when. And also that the IRC was going to stagger the requirement for the asset management plan, so they didn't get 930 of them in 1 year, and they're going to contact each city or town and let them know when their asset management plan was going to be due, and if that requirement, the thing we'd want to do is to tell them that we have an asset management plan with the SRF and let them know if that's compliant. My thought, and probably your thought too, is that the asset management plan that the state revolving loan fund requires will be adequate for the purposes of the
What
state.
they're asking for, no, because they want, we need it for the electric, we need it for the water, we need it for the
For
town
the
property,
wastewater,
yeah,
right,
we
we
need
have-
it for everything.
Everything we
Yeah,
own,
you need it for
everything
You don't
we own.
have it, you don't have
Depreciation
it,
department.
yeah, you don't have it for the water, you don't have it for the
Right,
electric.
yeah,
okay.
but yeah, the sewer portion would be perfect and very much
Yeah.
helpful,
Yeah.
but I need it for everything.
But have you been notified that yours is due?
We got
We were,
bingo in
yeah,
there.
we got, well, on the audit that we had, we've never had one.
Oh, because you didn't have one in the past?
Okay.
Oh, now, wait a minute.
Wait a second, you may be talking two different things.
Yeah.
Because there's a thing called an asset inventory that,
Yes.
that you need.
Capital, yeah, okay.
Asset inventory, and it's different than a capital asset management
is.
plan. Okay, an asset inventory is a list of all of your, and you do need that, and it's a requirement to file in with your gateway report every year, and it's a separate section of that, and it's good for you guys are still here. There's, it's a listing of all of your assets, the original cost.
That's what this is.
Yeah, this is for the
Depreciation,
capital
yeah.
assets
Okay.
rollovers.
Yeah, asset inventory.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what this is, okay.
Yeah.
Of all of our records, policy updates.
Yeah, so this is the asset inventory, that's different. So
It is.
forget everything I just said on.
I see.
My wording was
This is the
incorrect, so
asset
I'm sorry.
inventory. No, everybody
No, I
thinks
just-
that, everybody thinks that.
I knew as they were going out the door, if
Yeah.
it was about a capital asset management plan, we had to have done that for
Okay.
state revolving fund. I wanted to have the benefit of input before, because I didn't know for sure what you were gonna say, sorry.
Are you looking for someone to get you compliant with your?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking with.
Okay,
I'm talking
oh,
with.
you're talking to somebody
Yep.
already?
Yeah, Mike Crowley,
Okay, I don't remember the name, but there.
Verity Capital Consulting, that's who, Janet and Susie recommended.
Hey, where did they live, cause they went $120 or something for a motel. No, it's $120 an hour plus a motel fee if they need a motel. I was kinda like, why would they need a motel, it kinda look like.
Some of my smaller cities and towns were using another person, I'd be glad to give you that name if you want to compare with, is all I was saying.
Okay, yeah, we can, yeah,
Please do
I
that.
don't know, I have it.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
$150 per night for hotel.
Hotels aren't cheap.
Well, I know, but.
Thanks, sorry.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
got
Sorry.
it. Wasn't sure where we're at.
Too much information later on.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Just hang on to it, because Steve's gonna send another name in the week, and then I can send it to you as soon as I get it. Okay. We already did the 2025 trash rate, right?
Yep, we did that.
Salary ordinance.
Just to start discussing
Okay.
where your all, brains are headed, because we need to have that, next month. We need to have the salary ordinance put together, to which, Lee, were you gonna help me to create a new?
Yeah, we talked about a different template, a different form.
Okay.
Yeah, be happy to.
So last month, I asked for Brad to have a raise, and we tabled it, cause Mitch wasn't here. So can we talk about that?
That would be part of the salary ordinance we would put in there, so we just need to kind of go through and this, and then, so this is just introducing it tonight, right?
Yeah, it was, because a lot of times, I think years prior, an ordinance would have been, I don't know how, if you guys had meetings prior or how it happened, I just know that in the December meeting, the salary ordinance was put together and you voted on it. I
Okay.
don't know how the numbers got to. I was just trying to get a heads up and start in November to be discussing, so that in December, I'll be ready for it. That's why I was trying to see where you're at.
So this
So I
is-
have numbers for you
Yeah.
to find out. Sometimes it takes me a little longer to find things. I need more time.
No, it's fine, no, no, no.
Budget thing that she gave us in the packet. Did you see it? Is that what you think? So is this ordinance 2024?
That's what you voted on last year for 2025 salaries this year. And then, I believe that it was that the updated one of the, with maintenance. I think that's the most current, or maybe it's,
On the back where it says.
yeah, this was the old
I
maintenance.
was
The
gonna say,
maintenance one is incorrect, so that one was, that's the only one that's different. Everything else is the same.
Okay.
So on this back page where it says office staff, temporary, and it gives amount of everywhere, and it's like $15.45 per hour. Who is that?
That was Mackenzie, part-time. She went full-time, so that's nobody.
So we can just do away with that here.
Well, no, because if something was to happen and then I hired somebody, I wouldn't be able to hire anybody part-time.
Well, you could, you just have to ask us first. That's how that works.
Well, whatever you guys want to do with it, it's always been on there as just having an available.
But we put that in there too. Does it come out from, I answered my question in my head, sorry.
So this is last year's.
It's for, you signed last year, this is the 2025 ordinance.
Yeah,
It's
On
for our
2025.
salaries in 2025, this
Yeah.
entire year.
Yeah.
so what we're looking is for 2026 salary.
Yes.
And that's where I want to give Brad the raise. And I've looked at a couple of different places we can take it from. She did capital development, I don't know if we can take it from Riverboat, lit public safety, there's a lot of different columns that we can take it from.
I don't think that's how that works.
I don't even, we take the salary from different areas.
You can't take it from the sewers or.
No, it's only come out of general.
But it can come out of general, and I put in the general, that's what it's saying, general. Is this not the general?
Yeah, he's general, you're right, I just didn't see that, sorry.
you gotta keep in mind that, it was, which one's becoming oblivious in 26, 27, and 28 is gonna be reducing. That's lit, never mind.
Lovely.
Never mind.
How much was you want
That's a public safety.
How much was you making, Barb, on that?
Well, I wanted to give him 75,000 and I added that up. Let me see here.
So that's like a,
It's $437.26 per pay period difference. If I added it right, this is right. 'Cause that. The difference is
so you're gonna increase this pay $20 more an hour? Is that what you're thinking?
with salaries, so I don't know about.
I mean,
That.
that's basically what it works out to.
It would be what, 32.50 or something like that? If you,
3605.
36.05, yeah. Did we get the COVID money switched around yet?
Because last night I was told that I could take it out of the payroll, and then I sent Janet a message and told her how can I take it out of payroll when the only money that's being used for the ARPA is the water. So I'm waiting for her to answer back, because I don't understand how I could do that. We don't use everything for payroll, we only use the water focused. And we don't have enough in the water to cover the, like, these.
No, we wouldn't.
Yeah.
We would have to change that to go into
But I was looking
general
at
payroll.
the, professional fees that we have, I thought we could pay VGBC out of that, because that's where I believe it should come from. But the actual fines that we have, I'm waiting to hear from Janet still. Cause I had to go back and, since 2014, to calculate out who got paid out of what, for how much. And I was like, well, this isn't making any sense, because we don't pay all of it. So before I dig too far, I want to make sure. that I'm doing it right.
I just think we need to look to see where all the money's at before we, that's a big jump on that. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve a raise, trust me, I'm not saying that at all, I just wanna look, cause we gotta also look at the others too.
Well, everybody in the office kinda got a raise. Lori got a raise when she went up to clerk treasurer. Azra got one and she went to,
That's $1,000.
and then, we just hired Mackenzie and she just went full-time, so she makes more.
She doesn't make what, the salary ordinance is, I didn't put her in at that. I got $1,000 more than what I was. And the mess I have.
Let's look at the other, we'll leave that one right there. Let's look at the other ones as well, cause we can't just raise one and not raise everybody else's. I know Troy has asked for a raise, but I did ask Troy for a list of stuff and I never could get that either, so. But that's not your responsibility, that's his responsibility. Cause I think he's making $19.84 an hour, if I'm right, I think that's where Troy's at, right?
Yeah, it's same as their deputy.
Okay.
So really Troy and Cannon are the only.
Yeah, but we need to leave some, because we're gonna have to hire a third maintenance.
Well, I don't care, that doesn't have nothing to do with law.
But if we're looking at the salary range, we need to make sure we cover
That
that as
these
well.
other positions are.
Yeah, that position's there is what I meant.
Right.
Because another, maintenance person can come out of all the utilities too, to where Brad said,
If he's just a sewer operator, it can only come out of sewer. If he's doing, if he's not doing anything else with anything, it can only come out of sewer.
Yeah, that's Eli. He's only gonna
but
do
then we
sewer.
could take some people that aren't doing sewer, that we pay for out of sewer, out of it. Because we shouldn't be paying them.
But what if they're working on sewer lines or something?
Yeah,
They're still, maintenance still works on sewer lines, and we still have sewer issues
your maintenance people.
in our
would be all
roads, so
three.
everybody still would have to get it all
Yeah.
maintenance.
They would be all three utilities.
Yes.
I mean, we can bring, when we bring Eli, we can just, because that's what he's gonna do is sewer.
Yeah, so you better only be out of our sewer, and our sewer's running.
I see plenty of money here to do it.
So what are your thoughts on the others?
3%,
Huh?
3%.
Do we move Troy as a senior maintenance person or from maintenance labor?
You don't need to fit someone into a
Oh,
position.
no, I know that.
I mean, you can't.
Yeah, I know that.
What's what he makes now plus 3%. But you know, the fire department was in here saying how they need more money for more people.
It's only 70 cents.
Brad still hasn't, you know, the fire department got most of our annexation money, so Brad still hasn't even gotten that first. So, we need to think about that when we're giving them a 30% increase.
Oh, I know, yeah. We don't have to vote on this tonight, at least get this kind of a idea of where we're at, what you guys are thinking, and then bring it back next month and then vote on it then. That'll give us more time to look at them, the areas where we. Where we're at on it otherwise. So if you're thinking Brad 75,000, then you're wanting to raise you're only gonna give 3% to everybody else, that's about
Yep.
90 cents.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Well,
that
I
position would
think
have
we
a
need to
22,000
raise-
raise, and everybody else would have 1,000 or less a year. That's gonna cost.
I mean, we got a starting point, so.
Yeah.
Let's think about it and then kinda, we'll talk about it. That's all I have on, we'll just table this solid ordinance and bring it back next month, everybody kind of get something in your heads and then we'll put something together. Go from there. We gotta look at the funds before we make any decisions.
I looked at the
I know,
funds,
we
I
still
made
need to look
marks,
at that.
and we talked about it last week, or last month, when we were gonna look at the forms. And apparently, I was the only one that did that.
So you're proposing to raise Brad's tonight?
Well, starting the first of the year,
Okay, so with everybody else?
yeah.
Okay.
Tonight would be great, but I know that that can't happen right now.
Okay.
Right. All right, let's move on to claims.
Let's pay the bill. Make a motion to pay the bill.
Have a motion on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
Bills paid. Scott, Fire Department, are you still here, Scott? Nope, Scott, all right. Shelley Cooley?
I don't have anything.
Okay.
Box.
JR, you're signed in.
Is that a shit box?
I think it's Chicken. Chicken, did you sign in to talk tonight?
Do what?
Did you sign in to talk?
Well, certainly.
You're up, 3 minutes, let's go.
Yeah, I did check the box. Did I check the wrong box?
I think you did, I think you checked Shelley's box. So. That's the reason why I asked.
Okay, well, that's my mistake, I apologize.
Now, if you want to speak, you got 3 minutes, we're ready to roll.
Yep, I talked to Mr. Perkaiser today, and, from the previous meeting, he was wondering, he's still waiting on an answer for about the 1.8 million in the electric fund, and the newly discovered where the residents were being overcharged 4 cents kilowatt on their electricity for the last 3.5 years.
We are addressing his emails, and his emails, we have been working on those. And also, he did talk to Kevin Quick today as well on the phone. Kevin called and let me know.
Yeah, well, okay, so what about the electricity, the 4 cents kilowatt?
That's being adjusted, that has been adjusted on the November bill now. On the fuel adjustment, it's at a 0, there is no charges, so it's.
So,
How does that repay us?
Yeah. So what if they moved?
I don't know, all I can do is moving forward, is that we put it at a 0.
So the people get 1 month free electricity?
No, this is going to go on for, oh shoot, I can't remember, the next possible 3 to 4 years.
yeah, it's like 3.5 years.
So what is the rate for the kilowatts now?
It's the same kilowatt for the rate, it's the it's 13 cents per kilowatt. It's the tracking factor. That was, too high. So we put it back, right now it's at 0, and it's gonna possibly end up being a negative number. So that's why everybody's electric bill was dropped about $20, $40.
That doesn't pay us back for the 3.5 years.
We're taking,
She found the error, so she went back and corrected the error. So we're gonna go forward with where we're at. So, am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
That doesn't pay us back.
it's gonna be taken off your electric bill.
So you are getting
So it's like being refunded every month for the next 3 to 4 years.
So our effective rate is 10 cents per
No,
kilowatt.
your kilowatt is your kilowatt. This is the fuel adjustment charge. That's like, it was like 0.007 something cents. That's what's changed. That's now at a 0.00. It's
So
not
you're
the
saying,
electric
you're
charge.
saying everyone's going to get a credit until that money's paid back?
Correct, correct, yes.
Right?
Yes,
Okay.
that's why the electricity bill was lower already this month. It's just the fuel adjustment. The electric rates is what we followed on the ordinance at that 13 cents. That is an ordinance, that is what it is. It's the fuel adjustment that changes every quarter. What was the problem?
That, like you said, that doesn't pay back the people that's moved. It doesn't pay anybody back.
Within your own saying it doesn't pay anybody back.
Right. Then Chicken, you're up.
I didn't know anything about that. That is terrible.
3-minute timer started.
What happened on the paving on Main Street? You said you was going to stop that and have a talk with them. The next morning, they were paving as usual, right off the bat, paved that whole thing. The road has good base under part of it, and the rest of it still is in bad shape. To fix that right in the future is going to require taking all of the asphalt up and putting it back in. And who's gonna pay for that? We are. That engineering company did not do their work. They did not do more testing, they did not check for things that needed to be done. And just like this, whatever happened tonight with the rate possibly going up, that's their fault. And why are we paying for big mistakes they made, and you give them a lot of money for that? And that's what I'm saying about this paving. I was kind of told in a roundabout way from 2 or 3 different sources that they would, that whole thing, the area that is still bad out there. I mean, bad enough that it's broken, cracked, will not hold up, was gonna cost $60,000 more, and it could have been completely done right. Instead, now that they put this patch in there, when it will not hold up. The patch would hold up, but everything on the sides of it is not gonna live. And you personally said you was gonna stop, you asked him over there to stop it the next day so you could research.
All right, this is what I did research it, so if you let me talk real quick. It was not covered in our bond to pave the whole road. They could only pave what was covered in the bond.
And they jumped on it before we could even get with them.
Yes.
So the damages to the road that you're saying that are the rest of the road that's damaged beyond technically repair, you're going to go after HWC, or you're going after the company that did the job? Because that road's gotta be fixed. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
It would just have to be, it would just have to be paved out of the MVH fund.
Well, why did they get a buy on this? You know, this is just like Karen Howard and her getting a buy, they're getting a buy on that.
And it's
and
just
you
like,
guys went to a lot of trouble.
it's just like you getting a buy while driving up and down the road. All the rest of us driving up and down these roads, they break down over time.
The breakdown was due to the equipment on it. It wasn't there before.
There was not an ounce of
It's no
crackage in the
different
road.
than over in Henderson Bridge, in front of somebody's house down there, they had to dig all of the road completely down to the base and put base in it. All of Henderson Ridge didn't need all that paving, but boy, it sure got about 2 miles of paving. And one place, to keep a dump truck alive, they took and filled it all in. Now I'm going to bring big trucks into my place, and they will not, that road will come completely apart.
That's not a truck route, by the way.
Huh?
That's not the truck route.
It is a truck route to my place. You can't stop them from coming into my place. Why do you think they bring their triaxles over there and dump it? To do your project, they bring 100 loads of stuff in there. That road is not going to, I was under the impression they wasn't going to pave it till they were done doing their work, and those big sucker trucks, like they're boring right now, they'll run 100, 150 loads down through there. And your road is junk. And I don't understand why, if that was in front of your house, or it was your road, if you personally owned that road, you would be livid and mad that this is happening.
Paved and not gravel. You don't live there and get all the gravel dust everywhere, do you?
No, yeah, I get all the gravel dust, it's in everything, and I will go out there and look on my truck.
Oh, I see every day running stop signs, so I get it.
But it doesn't, I just wondered, how did you change your decision on this without a meeting telling all the rest of the board members that, hey, you know, we got a problem, or I don't think we got a problem. It never was brought in public view. And no matter if you are the president of the board, you got, on that big of a deal, you have to consult with your people.
I had to consult with the people because we had a bond on that. Let me make sure I do this right. Ban on that we can only pay what was in the repairs. Am I correct?
What was in the project?
Yeah, what was in the project. That's it. So, all right, time's up.
Yeah.
Summer, you good?
Yeah, my question on major things.
All right.
I'm making a motion to adjourn.
Have a second? I second. Meeting's adjourned. All in favor? Aye.
Everybody shut their mics off.
Did you shut that lady on? It's worse.